Find tiny dancers.
I'm excited to be a snowflake because we did all special dresses and I love to watch the Nutcracker.
Refine goes behind the scenes of the cutest Nutcracker auditions as local ballerinas try to land their big break. Then she's one of the biggest activists of our time.
They said, I've got 2 words for you. Heather Booth.
Refine chats with the woman at the center of an inspiring new film who says one person can make a difference. And
we haven't had one person eat it on his own.
we can see why. The ridiculous Reuben that puts other Seattle sandwiches to shame. Seattle Refined starts now. Hey everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Guard Swanson. You know, for a lot of families across the Northwest, seeing the Nutcracker every year is a holiday tradition. The costumes, the music, the artistry, it's a feast for the senses. And this year, thanks to an incredible opportunity, more than 50 talented local performers, some as young as 6 years old, will get to dance in a landmark tour of the show by the Moscow Ballet.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Cue the excitement of Seattle's American Dance Institute.
I will honestly be happy to be cast in anything.
For the first time ever, dozens of local kids are auditioning to be a part of Moscow Ballet's award-winning Great Russian Nutcracker.
I've never been in the Nutcracker, so it's like I'm just really happy to be here, and I really just want to get picked because, you know, or else my mom and my dad are gonna, you know, watch me dance on the Nutcracker. I really want to be the Sugar Plum Fairy when I grow up.
I've done performances before, and I feel like once you get on the stage, it's the lights and everything, and you're in the atmosphere, and then you just work up to performing in that atmosphere. But here, it's a lot more pressure.
And their parents are feeling it too.
It's our first time doing any kind of show tryouts, and so it's a new experience for both my daughter and myself, and it's exciting. She seems pretty happy and confident, but you know, it's interesting, kind of on the edge of my seat just to see what'll happen.
My mom is actually more nervous than any of us. She's in California, and she's like waiting for the text to see whether or not she's got in.
Fortunately, there's enough camaraderie, know that it's not a cutthroat anything.
Okay, one more time from beginning.
She's right. Audition director and professional ballerina Anastasia keeps a close eye on each child during auditions to make sure every single one of these kids earns a role in the show.
We have a lot of dance part for children in this ballet, like snowflakes, snow maidens, party children, Spanish dance, Arabian, Chinese, and mice that are always very funny.
In its 25th touring season, the Moscow Ballet's unique program allows children in more than 100 U.S. cities to join them on stage.
And just gives them some small pieces of each dance, and they should try and then repeat with me, without me, and then I will choose them for the dance with us in real ballet in the big theater.
That big theater is the Paramount in downtown Seattle, where the kids will join the professional dancers after just a few rehearsals.
I want the soul that they have inside, and that they really love ballet, and they really want to be in the stage, in this performance.
What I love is just, you know, being on stage, forgetting about, you know, whenever I'm on stage, I just forget about everything.
I'm excited to be a snowflake because we did all special dresses and I love to watch the Nutcracker.
I just love moving to the music and how you can like tell your emotions in a story through the way you move.
The Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker performs one night only, November 10th at Seattle's Paramount Theater. To learn more, check out our website. There's no question ballet dancers are in terrific shape, and we all know how they get there, right? They work out. And thanks to something called the November Project, you don't have to join a gym to get a great workout, but you will have to get up early. The November Project is led by Seattleites who hold free morning workout classes every Wednesday and Friday outside, rain or shine, all year round. Wednesday workouts are at Gasworks Park, while Friday's classes rotate around the city. To learn more, log on to our website. Well, you'll need a workout after you sink your teeth into this next story. If you watch this show with any regularity, you'll know that the refined staff is obsessed with giant food. Just yesterday, we showed you a giant burger from Zippy's. We were hypnotized by this big bowl of pho we found in the U District. We thought this 12-egg omelet from Best Cafe was, well, excellent. And we washed it all down with an insane Bloody Mary from Sam's Tavern. We thought we were stuffed, then we heard about a super colossal sandwich and managed to make room for more.
In New York, delis are like Starbucks. There's one on every corner. We may not have a lot of delis in our area, but there's a bite of the Big Apple in Bellevue that everyone talks about. Goldberg's.
It's one of our favorite places. Used to have to go to New York to get this, and so you can just come here in Bellevue.
We try to have at least do it twice a week, if not 3 times a week. This is the greatest lunch place ever.
They've got the best Reubens I've had in this state, and friendly service, and it's just a wonderful place to come.
All right, I'm going to let you in on a secret here.
Okay.
I'm a New Yorker. How does this place rate?
You know what? I would say it rates right among them all. And it's really pretty similar to the type of delis you'll see in New York, like Katz's or Stage or Carnegie. Very similar. We also bring in 2 highlight items from New York, which is our babka and the black and whites. The black and whites are one of the cookies are one of the most famous items, and we, as I know, are the only ones that bring it in here directly from New York.
Why are you passionate about owning and running a deli?
This may sound funny to you, but it was a bucket list item. I always had that wanting to own a deli, and I in fact came one day 5 years ago to buy a couple of babkas for me and my wife, and the gentleman here asked me if I was interested in buying a deli.
Wow.
And I came home and told my wife I bought the babkas and I bought the deli.
That's awesome.
That decision is paying off big time. Goldberg's has 250 items on the menu, but one sandwich put this place on the map. Meet the 5-pound Reuben. It is no joke.
We haven't had one person eat it on his own.
For the 5-pound Reuben, we use a whole loaf of rye bread. Almost ready. Till it become really golden brown, and we're ready to go. Russian dressing, we put it on both sides of the sandwich. We're gonna lay down the meats on the sandwich. This is our famous corned beef. And now we're gonna get the sauerkraut, we're gonna put it right on top. As you see, we put it on a big tray, because really it doesn't fit in any of our plates.
Do you ever eat this?
Oh yeah, I almost ate a quarter. Well, in fact, we had a competition before here, and nobody was capable of eating the whole thing.
And if it couldn't get any crazier, the 5-pound Reuben comes with unlimited fries. Yum.
There you go, 5-pound Reuben.
There's no way I could handle this on my own. I had to call in reinforcements.
This thing is a monster. You guys ready? Down the hatch. Here we go. That's pretty good. What do you ladies think?
The best.
To learn more about Goldberg's 5-pound Reuben, log on to our website. Seattle Refined is just getting started.
Really smooth and really creamy.
Don't blink, you just might miss the best coffee shops in Seattle. Refined's favorite hidden Java spots on the way. But first, you may not know her face or her name, but she's changing the world. Meet the woman finally getting the recognition she deserves. Welcome back to Seattle Refined. I'm Gerd Swanson. You know, let's face it, sometimes the world seems pretty overwhelming, right? A lot of us are outraged by the injustices we see, but feel powerless to do anything about it. If that sounds like you, we want you to meet a woman who's been described as the most influential person you've never heard of.
And I remember handing out my first flyers in Times Square and how frightened I was.
Heather Booth was just a scared high school student protesting the death penalty when her passion for activism began. It was the first of many social issues she fought for. And now, for the first time, a new film is telling her story.
Part of being a good organizer is accountability and follow-up. Organizing is 90% follow-up.
If you've never heard of her, you're not alone. But once you see this film, you'll never forget her name.
They said to me, Elizabeth, if you really want to push for this consumer agency, you got to get organized. And I said, great, how? They said, I've got 2 words for you, Heather Booth.
The inspirational film, Heather Booth, Changing the World, gives us a never-before-seen look at Heather's role in some of the most crucial moments in history, from civil rights to women's rights to abortion and financial reform. Heather is a social justice warrior.
What makes you think you stand a chance up against those kind of forces?
Well, first of all, it's a David and Goliath fight. We should remember that sometimes David wins.
I had the honor of sitting down with Heather on her recent visit to Seattle.
When did you know that this was going to be your crusade, that you were going to champion for these causes?
The truth is, I grew up to believe in the golden rule, not the current Trump rule of few as the gold makes the rules, but in fact the real rule that we should treat others as we'd want to be treated. I was brought up in a loving family who really believed in the values of justice and democracy and treating everyone equally. And so I grew up believing we should take action on that.
And it really, I think it's enlightening when a woman or a man sees this, no matter how big or how small they are, you can still make a difference. That's what it's about, right?
The film helps inspire people to take action and to move from this very perilous and challenging time with hope and joining together with others.
So you've done so many great things in your career, but of course you've had hurdles and stumbling blocks. What's been your biggest challenge?
There's certainly external challenges. The force of the right wing, the enormous money that's up against us, the power that we face. But there are also internal challenges. I often think one of the things that prevent people from taking action is just feeling insecure about it, lacking the confidence. And a key lesson that we hope people learn from the movie and from organizing is that people are good enough. We are the leaders that we've been waiting for. We each need to find our voice, tell our story, join together, and we can overcome those challenges and turn from a moment of despair into a moment of real hope and opportunity.
To learn more about the documentary Heather Booth, Changing the World, or to watch that interview again, log on to our website. Coming up.
Who are you wearing? You look divine.
Refine's team reporter goes wild at one of the biggest high school musical awards in the country. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. Well, there's no question when it comes to coffee, Seattle is the caffeine capital of the world. We know about Starbucks, Tully's, and Pete's, but what about the little guy? Well, we hit the streets and found what really makes Seattle unique, the hole in the walls where everybody can catch a buzz.
I just have a single short split shot.
Let's start in Ballard's West Woodland, where Cafe Bambino is the caffeine king of the neighborhood. It's tiny, under 200 square feet inside, but it's big on flavor and still kicking after 2 decades.
This is the only place in North America you can get our coffee. It's called Berardo, and it's roasted over a wood fire and hazelnut fire outside Rome.
Cafe Bambino is a work of art, literally. Beautiful original works by the owners fill the place, all the way down to the handmade coffee mugs. Just down the street, get your fix in Fremont at ETG, short for Espresso to Go. It's been hanging around since the early 80s. It's one of the oldest and smallest cafes in Seattle. Just 1 table and 2 chairs inside.
You know, I always try to not be like a shop, just be like someone's walking in your living room.
One of the smallest coffee places we found is right here, Monorail Espresso. Yeah, there are no tables, there's no chairs. You can only order right here from the window. But you know what? This place might be tiny, but it is rich with history. The downtown spot is Seattle's first espresso company to have a coffee cart. That was back in the early 80s. It's on display at the Museum of History and Industry.
We are Seattle through and through to its core. Originally, we were a coffee cart.
And up on Capitol Hill, you gotta try Espresso Vivace.
Coffee, for one, is a really good antidepressant, and in such a gloomy, gray city, we need all the help we can get.
Their sidewalk cafe is small, but bold and beautiful when it comes to latte art. They say they're Seattle's original designers when it comes to the creamy creations.
It's a very fluid living art form as far as working with your palate and knowing, because you've got to have just the right milk texture and the crema, and you got to know how to play with it, and you got to be able to judge what the milk is doing.
By the way, a recent study by Smart Asset ranks Seattle the top city for coffee fanatics. Factors include price, taste, number of stores per capita, and manufacturers. New Orleans was second, followed by Portland, San Francisco, and Oakland. We'll be right back. But first, how would you like to see Lady Gaga live in Las Vegas? Make a donation for your chance to win a monstrous experience benefiting a good cause. The package includes 2 tickets to Lady Gaga on Saturday, December 16th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, a 2-night stay, plus round-trip airfare for 2 from Seattle to Vegas, leaving December 15th and returning December 17th. To make a donation right now, go to seattlerefined.com/bid. See all the rules and details with Prizo.com. All proceeds benefit Northwest Harvest, brought to you by the Washington Bankers Association.
Ready?
Welcome back to the show. I'm Guard Swanson. You know, it's back to school time, and that means homecoming dances, high school football games, and of course our favorite, high school musicals. We have so many talented young performers in our state, they actually even have a special award show for that honor. It's called the Fifth Avenue Awards, and it's definitely one of the most fun events we went to this year. For such a special night, we knew we needed a special Refined correspondent.
Hello.
Refined put out the call asking theater kids from around the state to submit their audition tapes, and boy did they come pouring in. The talent was so good. But we could only pick one. And with no further ado, meet Owen.
Good evening, folks. My name is Owen Leopold, and I am going to be your Refined correspondent this evening for the Fifth Avenue Awards hosted at Benaroya Hall. And behind me, there are thespians filing in now to watch the award shows, and we're going to go interview some of them and see what they have to say. Let's go. I'm coming in hot. Got a quick question for you. Who are you wearing? You look divine. Who are you wearing tonight? Give me a quick little update.
I am wearing the wardrobe that my mother gave me.
Wow. We got a mama's boy, folks. Moving on. Walla walla. Holy smokeronies. It's a little straddle jump there, isn't it? Yeah, I'm a cheerleader, too. We did Bring It On the Musical, Shorecrest High School. Don't know if you heard about it. Yeah, up for a lot of awards, that's for sure. See you around. Oh, my. Handsome. How are you tonight, sir?
So good.
What's your name?
Alex.
Alex. Huh, interesting. What high school are you here representing, Alex?
Hanford High School.
Hanford High School, another Hanford Manford, isn't that right? All right, and here we have the first performance sneaking on the stage right side. Oh, they are excited, and so am I. See you on the other side, Pete. Oh, yeah, run.
Run.
Oh, gosh, I don't have my shoes tied.
Throw everything down. We'll deal with it.
So, I just performed, and I'm very out of breath, and I no longer feel handsome because I'm not in a tuxedo, and that's all I have to say about that. Thank you. Excuse me, sir, do you mind if I ask you a couple of quick questions?
What?
Oh, I thought you were somebody else.
Just trying to get some Fritos.
Well, have you ever written a musical before?
I have. I was actually in a musical. It was my last performance, 3rd grade, God Bless America, and I played the part of George Washington.
Wow.
And
I can see the resemblance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very George Washington-y. Sam Bennett, Morgan Roberts, well, congratulations to both of you. You just were the recipients of which awards exactly?
Outstanding lead actress.
All right.
Same thing for actor.
The award show has now ended. We are all absolutely exhausted. There has been so much talent displayed here tonight. My name is Owen Leopold. It's been an honor to be your host. Thank you very much. Signing off.
To learn more about the Fifth Avenue Awards or to get a link to the entire show, log on to SeattleRefined.com. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm Guard Swanson. Thanks so much for joining us on Seattle Refined. We'll see you next time.